Crippin' for life. CIP King Nip. TMC, the marathon continues. Cause so many things I've got to tell you. They bangin' the gang and don't know how. So there's a possibility that you look at my crippin' like ever since that first moment I got put on the gang. From then on I knew with my crew crippin' was my life. I was destined to bang on cuz. So many people blowing up the gang. Cuz those who have faith in you stay true to the gang. Cuz to all the homies locked up and in the dirt. On cuz for better or worse, I still will choose Lou first.
And we are now tuned in at a special Sunday night episode of Off the Cuff Radio, episode 286. What's the deal, y'all? This your boy King Eric the Great, alongside with my co-host of the night, T-Max with the facts. And we are tuned in to a special episode of Off the Cuff Radio. Y'all be sure this is a special one right here.
Yeah, man, Off the Cuff Sunday Fun Day. We doing it live and true, you know, doing it what it do, man. Shout out to Buddy Boy Entertainment and Ty Vinci Clothing, our sponsors, and of course, Illa the Sandman and Lady Chinchilla. So Illa, you know, spiritual presence, always present. And yeah, man, this show tonight is a very, very, very special one. If I could humbly, you know, King so much introduce our guest tonight.
Feel free, brother.
Thank you. What can I say? This youngin is one of the realest from Rialto, California, representing Eastern Street. And he's followed in a long line of great, you know, MCs who fly that blue flag, you know, whether it be 111, rolling 20s, rolling 60s, A-Trays, you know, Compton, you know, Watts, Grape Street, Kelly Park, Tragnew, you know, this young boy doing it what it do. And, of course, I can't forget, you know what I'm saying, just Crips worldwide in terms of we recognize, you know, the gangster way is a lifestyle and it's a real way of life. And going on YouTube, you know what I'm saying, just, you know, one day I seen this video for Cuz where he used the music Soul Child sample. That was the first song we played. And I was just blown away, just laughing. Not because I thought the shit wasn't cool. I was blown away how genius the song was. And I was like, yo, we got to get him on the show. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, want to welcome our guest tonight on the show, Ros P. What it do, baby? What it do?
What's the deal, fam?
What's going on,
There we
man?
go.
Chilling, man. Working, man.
Definitely, man. Look, what's up?
No, I hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, man. Look, we are so humble. We're so appreciative. We're so happy to have you on, man. Yo, it's like I said, man, you definitely have tapped into that vein of really coming original, you know, going late night 2019 into 2020, man. And we're so privileged to have you on, you know, to really give you an opportunity to really tell, you know, hip-hop at large about you. We want to get you before you become major, man. So.
Oh, no, man. I really appreciate it, man. We kicking the 2020 off right, man. Going in the right direction.
Definitely, man. So tell the audience a little bit about you, man.
Oh, yeah, man. My name is Ros P.
I'm from Rialto, California, man. I've been doing this music thing for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all subscribe to my YouTube channel. Check me out. Follow me on IG at I am Ros P. Same on Twitter, man. Make sure y'all follow me. Check out my new video, Cuz. I just dropped a mixtape called Ladies Love Ros P for the ladies. My little first R&B mixtape, man. Check me out.
Definitely. Now, getting into it with you, man, is one thing about it is, you know, we definitely represent, you know, where you're coming from in terms of the set you up, man. And, you know, so many that have come before you, you know, in terms of, like I said, Dub C repping 111, of course, Eve and MC Ren representing, you know, Kelly Park, you know, the late, great Nipsey representing Rolling 60s, you know, of course, you know, Miss C-Note. For those who really in the know about the hip-hop, she was on Banging on Wax, of course, with Stenloke and Ayla Bryant representing Rolling 20s. Snoop Dogg representing, you know, Rolling 20s. I mean, dude, the legacy of Blue, you know, goes so far and so distinguished, man. I haven't even named everybody, you know, and I'll probably do that as we go along, man. I mean, how does it feel? How did you find your way into hip hop in terms of being from your onset, and as you progressed in terms of your career, how did you really manage to make that blending, you know, of banging and, you know, rapping into one?
Really, it's really not easy. It's really just me representing where I'm from. Like, where I'm from, being from the IE, being from Rialto, you feel me? I'm from Northside folk, like Rialto City, you feel me? So I'm really the first from my section, from my city, to go viral and do what I'm doing and represent to where it's touching, where LA fucking with it, you feel me, all over the world. For real, I'm like really the first from where I'm from to do this. So it's just me representing me, being where I'm from, being real, you feel me? A lot of people try to, you know, say they from LA, they're not really from LA. I'm not from LA, I'm from Rialto, you feel me? I'm from the IE. But I get love.
Right.
I get love from LA. I get love from the city. Like G Malone, fuck with me. You see Snoop reposting my video. I'm getting love. OT Genesis showed me love. Like, I'm getting love now.
And who are some of your influences coming up in the game that really helped and molded you into being, you know, really, you know, as you progressed in terms of really honing your craft?
Really, I mean, I have to say like Snoop, DJ Quick, G Malone, feel me, K-Boy, and like Too Short. Really,
and when you say
really
K-Boy, you mean Eastside K-Boy, right?
Eastside K-Boy, that's my cousin.
No shit.
Yeah, that's my cousin.
Yeah.
He was crazy though.
Okay.
I heard K-Boy music, right, man, and I'm like, man, this nigga so hard. This is a minute ago. I'm like, this nigga so hard. And come to find out, I'm letting my cousin know. I'm like, man, this nigga's K-Boy. This nigga hard. He's like, nigga, that's your cousin. I said, what?
So it runs in the family. Yeah, man, because I peeped out some of I peeped out some of K-Boy stuff, man, and I'm like, I mean, it's one thing about it is I've noticed in California is that, you know, y'all have always managed, you know, no matter what side of the flag y'all on, you know, left or right, you know, blue or red, blood or cuz, it's like y'all always had y'all own style that was distinct in terms of really marketing yourselves. You know, of course, you know, like you said, you had DJ Quick, you know, who was one of your influences. Shout out to TTP, Treetop Pyru, for those that don't know. And, of course, Too Short, you know, the godfather of Bay Area, you know, hip-hop.
Yeah, I actually got cousins who got a gold track with a gold plaque with Too Short, you feel me? So, like, I get it from both sides of the family, this music thing.
That's what it is, man.
Show you a student of the game.
Yeah,
exactly.
Definitely. Now, in terms of it, what we've seen in hip-hop, you know, because one thing about it, as you said, so many artists try to claim that they're from somewhere and they're not.
Exactly.
And try to pretty much, you know, fabricate their lifestyle from a level of non-authenticity, not being a genuine article, you know, trying to wear the cloth that ain't fit for them. Pretty much growing up, man? What was it like for you growing up in Rialto in terms of really, just navigating your way through the hood and really just coming of age?
It was different. You feel me? We had a lot of people come from Pasadena and Compton and come to Rialto and really try to set things their way, but we move different. We do things our way. So it was kind of hard. You feel me? We had to make a name for ourselves. We had to put a lot of work in, you feel me, to make a name for ourselves. And it just got to where as time went on, things flipped and everybody was following suit to what we was doing. All I got to say is, like, you got to be you. When you're not you, people can, you feel me, they can see through that shit and that shit fabricated and it don't last. When you be you, that shit is more organic. You feel me? Like, I dropped the Cuz record. I would have never thought Snoop would repost my shit. You feel me? Like, that shit was just amazing. It was just so organic. I was gonna pay to put it on. I was gonna put it on World Star. It was just so organic. It was just spreading. It was just spreading crazy like a disease, man. That shit was crazy.
And shout out to Uncle Snoop, man, because one thing about it with Snoop, being a godfather, one of the modern day godfathers, of the game, Snoop has always, he's always done that in terms of just, you never know it, but Uncle Snoop just going to put you on when you least expect. You know what I'm saying? Like, me and you had chopped it up before we had got you, for the show a couple of years ago when he put on P Nice, with Stupid Young, Zaire Akeem, Trey G with the joint. I'm from Long Beach. And when I first heard that shit, because I've heard about that when Snoop put it on his IG, so I checked the joint out and I was like, oh, and it's
Long
like,
Beach, Long Beach really fucking with me right now. I got a track with Stupid Young too.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Stupid Young, man, and ABC, Asian Boy Crips, man.
Crips,
yeah, man, Family Exotics out Cambodia town, man. We see y'all, man. Pretty much, how is it in terms of, really bringing it, all blue? We know from certain levels of, gang bang history that as, from the 60s, of course, for Raymond Washington, Stanley Tookie Williams, first starting it, and as it spread, it was initially tight, but then, of course, some units splintered off, and some even had rivalries. How did you manage to pretty much be able to avoid a lot of those rivalries and pretty much keep it under one flag of the left, keeping it fresh?
Yeah, I mean, of course, in my city, we do got rival gangs and everything. Just like I said, just really staying in my own lane, doing the music and just staying myself and representing. You feel me? Like I said, man, growing up where I'm from is crazy. Everybody want to claim L.A. You got people really from Rialto, but they claim L.A. So, it might be some artists that really made it or did their thing, but they wasn't representing Rialto. Like, I'm representing Rialto full-fledged, you feel me? And that's what people don't understand. You trying to be like somebody else. You got to be you at the end of the day.
Right.
Now, you think those guys are claiming L.A. just because you think it's easy? You think those guys are claiming L.A. because they feel that it's easy to get exposure and base that L.A. is where it pretty much is popping?
Yeah, because it wouldn't be no Compton without NWA. You feel me? It wouldn't be no scene. They open up the doors for people, so they trying to really just follow. And I'm always the type of person, I try to do something different. A lot of people don't even know. I did my Cuz song before OT Genesis dropped his record, before he dropped his videos. So a lot of people really thinking, I'm going to say it now, a lot of people thinking I'm following what he was doing. I was just doing me. He just beat me to the punch. The day his video dropped, I was shooting my video. You feel me? But I fuck with OT. You feel what I'm saying? It's just like a swag. Like, I get that from K-Boy. K-Boy being remixing shit like that. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
That's just like, it's just timing, man. It's just timing for real.
Definitely. And from it, we definitely seen a lot of heads over the years, really, really, really be unabashed in terms of showing their allegiance and loyalty. Of course, late great Nipsey, he was rolling 60s, true and blue. Of course, you got some of the newcomers like BG Perico, shout out Broadway Gangsta Crip,
Yeah.
And, of course, AD, with his All Blue album, Compton Crip, it's like, matter of fact, and of course, him and, AD and of course BG did their joint Crip Lives Matter, was flying, Hoovers and everybody in it. K State. For those that really don't know about, basically, I mean, how does it feel to really see it where, because at one time, as we were coming up, me and King are older, so we were remembering a time in terms of we always had love for the streets, but back in the day, because gang life was so real, especially because rap music, especially gangster rap, was still in its nascent, new stages and phases. So there was still a navigational period in the incubation of trying to figure out, how it's going to be marketed. Of course, we know the history with NWA, having primarily Crip affiliation. And, of course, that would bring, King T, from Compton, with Crip allegiances, I believe. And, of course, you would have Compton's Most Wanted coming out of Tragnu, Boom Bam, MC8 and all of them. But it was like there were subtle messages. Of course, when DJ Quick would drop his first album, it was red. But it's like if you were from L.A. or from around them parts, you knew. But it wasn't spoken on heavy in the game for, I guess, from a perspective of marketing and, just basically you didn't want people to get too nervous.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Now it's like everybody loves it.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Now, I see what you're saying. Now it's like it's the way with the marketing, it really helps. You feel me? But at the same time, it's a lot of motherfuckers out here ain't about the life they rapping about and doing what they saying, and that's why it's not working. It might work for some people, for the ones out here trolling and all that, but real recognize real, man.
Now, one thing about it is that the life is real out there, and we've seen a lot of people like 6ix9ine and so many others who try to claim certain affiliations,
that troll route,
but didn't necessarily. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's that troll route, man. It's just like we live in that time and stage where people feel that they're not really confident in their music. They don't want their music to speak for themselves, so they go ahead and try the shenanigans just out of compensation because they don't really have no faith in their craft.
Exactly. Yeah, man, it's a big difference, man. And like I said, real recognize real. And like you see, the truth always come to light, man. Like how you see that shit didn't last. You feel me? I don't wish jail on nobody, but you feel me? The truth always come to light, though.
Yeah, man. Now, do you pretty much see in terms of what? Oh, go ahead, King. Go ahead.
I'm telling you, T-Man, you're breaking up a little bit, so you may want to, go somewhere private or something, because it's like you're breaking up a little bit.
I'm breaking up?
Nah, T-Max was. Because I felt it was breaking up a little bit. Yeah, you good.
Can you hear me? Okay, yeah. Yeah. So, but in terms of seeing how rap, of course, West Coast has diversified itself so much, man. How does it feel to be part of that new wave in terms of like you said, you're really blowing, you're really buzzing, you're really finding your lane. What's been the hardest process in terms of really trying to, come through? Because so many artists come in, and you got a hell of a jump start with Uncle Snoop, putting you on, exactly. In terms of featuring your music. But what have you seen from the business aspects and just overall in terms of really the logistics in terms of putting everything together, really going to the next level? What have you learned from that so far?
Oh, man, I learned a lot. Like the business side, the business side of everything get tricky. Like, the Curves record, it's a remix, is going viral. I'm just, really, what I'm learning, I'm just being consistent. At the end of the day, my main priority, my main thing to do is to keep pushing out music. Like, don't stop. You feel what I'm saying? Because I'm getting to a point where people I look up to are starting to notice me. So I'm going to keep doing my music and get my business side all the way together, man. And I can't lose. I can't lose. I see it like that. As long as I keep doing my music and get my business side together, I can't lose. Like I'm like on some 100 shit. I'm doing all this shit myself. Feel me? Everything I'm doing myself. So it's just overwhelming. I don't have no team, nothing. Feel me? I do everything on my own. I ain't got no producer. I had a producer even in jail for like 2 years. Mm-hmm. I'm just shopping for beats. Any producers listening, man, make sure you tap in on my IG, send me beats. Matter of fact, I just linked up with Traumatone. He produced some beats for Money Man, some people in the industry. Like, it's just a lot of people hit me up now, and I just gotta make sure my business together. That's it.
Definitely.
I got to work ethic.
Know,
You feel me?
Yeah, and a lot of people, come in the game and they expect a whole bunch of one thing about it with the internet era is it has facilitated at a lot of levels an easier route in terms of access, but it's also given niggas a false sense of security in terms of thinking that their shit is that dope that they can just put it out there and people eat it up. Because a lot of people don't understand this is real work that it takes, in terms of, especially when you're pushing your product. And branding has a lot to do with it. You come from, and this is what I wanted to ask you earlier, in terms of where you come from Rialto, what is the geography proximity to Los Angeles? Would that be part of LA Metro, or is that like a whole different set of California, even in the Southern California hemisphere?
That's a whole different, I'm from the Inland Empire. That's the biggest county in the nation, though. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But it's a whole different section. So for me to even be one of the first ones to go viral from where I'm from, it's so big. There's so many people out here. You feel me? I might kick down the doors and open up doors for somebody else.
Inland Empire. I want to say that's where Kawhi Leonard's from. Yes.
Kawhi Leonard.
Yes, sir.
Like Hit Boy from Fontana. We got Hit Boy.
Okay. Yeah, I was just making sure because I thought of course he played, everybody knows Kawhi played for the Clippers, formerly of the Spurs and the Raptors. Yeah, and I went to San Diego State. I was wondering I heard in passing he was from the Inland Empire as well, but I didn't know for sure. That's why I was asking. Yeah.
He might be, I'm not sure though.
Okay, got you. So, but in terms of that, man, it's but yeah, a lot of heads got to understand that this is hard. It takes hard work, paying dues, and a method. But definitely from California, it carries a lot of clout in terms of, you being from there. Like you said, you're the first from your area to really put on for the city. How long before you really got into it? How long was your writing? How long was your incubation process in terms of writing and just really getting it down before you really decided this is what you wanted to do for a career?
Honestly, it was when I went to prison. I came home from prison, 2016, and that's when I really was like, this what I'm gonna do. That's when I really made that decision, and that's what a lot of people fail to realize. You could pretty much do anything you set your mind to. You feel me? You got people around you, friends, family that's gonna tell you can't do it, but you could do anything you set your mind to, man. I came home and I've been doing things I never dreamed of. I just told myself I'm gonna make it, and I ain't gonna stop.
That's what it is, man. Because
especially
I think
when you have people that will. Yeah, I was saying, especially when you have people in this game and within the field of music, everybody's a critic now, and everybody is so quick to dismiss you. So, in taking shots of criticism, how was you able to off your shoulder?
Honestly, that shit ain't easy sometimes because it comes from the people that you love. But I learned to understand that everybody not gonna understand your vision. You feel what I'm saying? A lot of people, up until Snoop Dogg posted my video, a lot of people thought I was crazy, cause my ideas are so. I have so many ideas. That's why I can't write my music. You feel me? I go in the studio and I rap real life about what happened to me today. So I tell somebody an idea they don't understand, but then I lay my song into the video and they see it they like, man. They like, you did that, you feel me? And I really was
kind of
to show. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like how everybody in this industry, whenever you get a big cosign, everybody want to be your fan all of a sudden. So now it's it could be a gift and a curse. The gift is you get a new fan base, you get a new form of acknowledgement, but the curse is deciding who's really your base and who isn't.
Yeah, all that fake love. That's why I just stated myself and my family, man. I'm to the point I ain't even gonna lie. It's been a process though. People already been showing me the fake love, so it's a lot of people I don't associate with myself. It ain't nothing personal. It's just what I'm shooting for and what I'm gonna reach. They really not rooting for me and they don't understand. When I get there, they probably gonna be there. You can still pop bottles and all that, but I just can't have no negativity around me. Because you have a lot of negativity around you, you start believing that shit. That shit seem real. You feel me?
Yeah.
I'm on a whole nother level. I'm in a whole nother mind state. And some people some people be mad. It's not necessarily they mad or they hate. People hate on what they don't understand. So some people, they can't see themselves doing it, so they'll put, you feel me, put their fears on the you.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? And I ain't letting nobody do that.
And the one thing about it, you know, especially, you know, let's keep it real, you know, in the black community, I think that's something that we tend to do a lot, you know, because one thing about it is, you know, we don't always, whether music or athletics, we're always telling our children, you know, our youngins, you know, go and, you know, do the safe route, get a regular job, this, that, and the other. But one thing about unadulterated creative genius is if somebody really has a gift and they're really making strides, you know, you got to support that person doing what they do. You got to support your kids. You got to support the young people, you know, because at the end of the day, all somebody has is their determination and their dream and their desire and they need the support to make it happen. Now, it doesn't always happen for everybody. That's just the way the game is set up. Not everybody is going to go to the NBA. Not everybody's going to make it to the NFL. Not everybody is going to hit the next level in rapping. But the main thing is, but if someone has a talent, they can at least do something with it. And for music, we've seen this especially. You know, I have, shameless plug once again, the Source and Double XL magazine. Love both of y'all. I have every Source magazine from 1994 except for 2 issues, and I have every Double XL magazine printed since 97. And I say this because I've seen so many rappers come and go, but even the ones that may have not made it big, they still were nice enough to get heard. And that's because somebody believed in them to get heard. You know, and that's and especially with this show, this is one thing, you know, King, LR the Sandman, Lady Chinchilla, and myself, we really appreciate, we love doing is giving artists such as yourself who are really talented, who really got something, you know, an opportunity to really get out there and tell the audience about yourself, to make a proper introduction. You know, because we're always about supporting the little guy or the little girl, you know, coming up, man. You know, we're about the culture, and we really, really, really want to see people win. You know, I was on your page earlier, and you posted up about Nipsey's album being platinum, and we really, really admire Nipsey. We got so much love for him. You know, King will tell you, Nipsey always wanted to see the little guy win.
That's crazy.
You know,
it's so crazy. I never got the opportunity to meet Nipsey, man. But I just feel like, not even just to say, I just feel like because after he had passed away a few months ago, you know, I got the Crip Too Hard record or whatever. It just started going crazy, and I felt like he was just shining a light on me because I'm just you feel me? I'm just represent that underground, the ones that's really trying to make it. You feel me? So I just feel like he shined a light on me, and like, you know, he know K-Boy and stuff. And so we got mutual friends and homies and shit. It's crazy. I didn't get the chance to meet him yet, man. That shit crazy.
Yeah, you know, Nipsey, of course,
I know the city took a heavy blow with. L.A. took a heavy blow when Nipsey died. We still
not
feel
just
that
not
boy
even just
today.
L.A. though. Not even just L.A. The whole world.
The culture itself.
Yeah, exactly.
In terms of watching what Nipsey had did, you know, from you, you know, really watching that marathon movement blossom, what did that do for Los Angeles in terms of his entrepreneurial spirit, in terms of just California in general? Because I actually got the 2009 XXL issue when he was on the freshman cover. I mean, this was like a couple years before he had actually been featured in XXL, you know, in The Source. So I had known about Nipsey for a lot of years, you know, which is why I was so happy, you know, to see him finally get his album out. But Nipsey had already been doing it for so many years independently. What did his moves business-wise, what did that mean to y'all in California, just watching him really come up, and especially him, you know, being a Blue Crew cuz?
Yeah, Nipsey always been big in California. Like, it's good. It's sad that he couldn't see, you feel me, his album go platinum and everything, but I mean, it's a big accomplishment for him, and he really deserved it. You feel what I'm saying? Like it's a lot of fake supporters. A lot of people out here who were sharing when Nipsey passed and all that, but they ain't even post up his album going platinum. It's like, do you really, you feel me?
Right.
Like, it's crazy, but everybody, you feel me, learning from what he learned from his mistakes and from the good things he did for his community, and it's a blessing that everybody's trying to do that. So now it's just gonna be better for everybody's community to try to be a leader in their community and give people jobs and brand themselves, and you feel me, just go from negative to positive and showing you can be from the hood and do something positive.
Definitely.
For real.
Now, in terms of where you see hip hop right now, where do you see the highs in it, and where do you see the lows in it in terms of, you know, in terms of where it's being authentically kept true to the tenets of the culture, and where you have some people who may make a mockery of it, who really don't understand what it means in terms of representing the music and the culture correctly?
Yeah, I really feel like the West Coast is back, man. I feel like it's really a blue season right now, you feel me? And for the fake motherfuckers, they're going to get exposed, and the real niggas going to get recognized. You feel me? Whoever worked the hardest going to win. Whoever put in the most work going to win, man. Period.
Definitely. Now, in addition to yourself, who else have you seen, you know, around the area that you really see has got a buzz that, you know, you're really watching, is, you know, and who would you like to collaborate with as you go along, you know, doing what you do?
Oh, man, I really want to, honestly, me and G Malone, man, me and G Malone, we done had some phone conversations. It's crazy, like a few months ago. I really want to do a song with G, man. Like, even him being on the phone with him and he just telling me about my music, man, I look up to G Malone. I really want to do a song with G Malone, first and foremost, you feel me?
Man, yeah, shout out to Glass Malone out in Watts. We actually had him on a couple of years ago. Yeah, real solid dude, man. Yeah, we had him on the show. Real good guy. Yeah, man, I mean, it's one thing about it is that when you see a lot of the artists who've been grinding for so long, you know, how important is it to really have that hometown support? You know, because I remember watching a Compton documentary on A&E about back in 2016, you know, a Game where they profiled Game and Kendrick, but it was really about the city itself. And when Game, you know, had his interview segment, he was talking about when he sat down with Dre, you know, Dre was asking him, you know, is your hood fucking with you? And Game was like, yeah, they fucking with me. And Dre was like, good, because if your hood don't fuck with you, the world won't fuck with you. How important is it to have that hometown support before you really take it to the next level?
Yeah, it's important, but times change, though. It's like the internet, you feel me? Like, it's important, don't get me wrong. Like, the homies fuck with me, the hood fuck with me, but, like, ain't nobody gonna support you more than somebody that you don't know. You feel what I'm saying? It's gonna be that motherfucker from some small little town that you don't know that's gonna support you the most. Cause to motherfuckers in the hood, you know, they know you by government and everything. To them, you always gonna be you. Yeah, they show love, they support
right.
for sure. But it's gonna be that motherfucker that you don't even know, that don't know nothing about you, that's gonna support you the most for sure. It's just times is just changing, man.
Definitely. And pretty much, and I guess that's something, you know, that's always unique in terms of an actual home turf, because like you said, the familiarity, because people really don't a lot of times appreciate the artistry that somebody has until it's validated by the public at large. But a lot of people don't understand, you know, is that, you know, everybody starts from somewhere. You know, there's always those open mics. There's always, you know, in the clubs, there's always those lonely nights at home writing. You know, just basically, you know, as I said, you're the one that has a vision, and you're trying to execute that vision to your design in terms of what your aim and your goals are. And like you said, not everybody is going to understand, you know, your motivations, you know, your aspirations, your dream, your hustle, and where you want it to culminate in. But, you know, but you have to really be one in terms of really believing in yourself and knowing that you can do it. But in terms of really getting into, in terms of really being able to take it in terms of what we say, take your show on the road, what do artists have to understand in terms of the aspects of understanding that to be a really dope MC, it takes time and it takes work? Because some artists try to shortcut the process. And you can't Yeah. Tell us about what artists need to know in terms of coming in and really understanding what it takes to really get to that next level and even getting a good starting point for it.
Man, listen, it's going to be nice when you're hungry. It's going to be nice. You can't even afford studio time. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be nice. You're going to be in the studio with niggas recording, and you don't even get a chance to record. You just got to sit back, wait your turn, man, and be hungry. Everybody get their time to shine, and when it's your turn, you got to do your thing.
Right.
Especially with them studio prices or that studio time, that's
man, I done been in the studio with
right
G Malone. Man, I done been in the studio with G Malone years ago. You feel me? With G Malone and K-Boy, I wanted to rap so bad. You know, being a musician, you want to go show your shit, so you got it too. But I learned it took a long time because now is the time. Now I'm ready. Now the world is ready to hear Ros P and know my story.
Definitely. And a lot of times,
they also got to be looked at like patience. They also got to be looked at like patience. Is the key virtue of really making.
A lot of people don't got that. A lot of people don't got that. They think it happen overnight.
In terms of being in the studio, how important is it to have a team in terms of really having people? Because when you have once you got your, the vision of the sonics you want, you've got your lyrics written, how important is it to actually get into the studio to have people that really know what they're doing in terms of your engineers, your mixers, everybody who has their design job to make sure that everything comes out? Because, people don't understand when you're doing it, this is like a job interview to your potential fans. You have to present something to them that is actually like you're showing that you're serious about your craft. How important is it to have? Go ahead.
Yeah, it's real important. A lot of people don't understand this shit is like an art. And me, I don't write music, so I can't have no bad vibes. So 9 times out of 10, it's gonna be just me and my engineer. You feel me? When I go to the studio, and I'm gonna have a bottle of 1738. But that's about it, man. Because this shit is an art. And like I said, I don't write no music, so I go off of vibe and off what I'm going through today. I go to the studio and lay a track, which is what's going on in my life. It's real life. And when you're telling a real story, real can recognize the real. You feel me?
Definitely.
Definitely, it's all about vibes at the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of people know me. I've been around. I've been in the studio with G Malone, video shoots, Bishop Lamont. Feel me? I've been around with Top Dog Entertainment. Went to Mexico with him. I've been around, so a lot of people know. And when a lot of people see it, they like, okay, it's time.
Definitely. Now you were saying you said you were around with Top Dog. How did that collaboration come in terms of you getting to know Anthony, Tiffler, Kendrick, Schoolboy, because Schoolboy is a fellow Blue Crew with you too, being 52 Hoover.
Exactly. Hoover, yeah.
So Hoover Criminals. How was that pretty much a? How did that meeting come about?
Well, that came about, just off, me being so close to LA. That just came about from the homie from my hood, his brother, and Big Lee. Shout out to Jazzy Management. You feel me? Shout out to B.O. You feel me? We really was. He the DJ right now for J-Rock. You feel me? He really was the one, because if you know Top Dog, it was J-Rock, Kendrick. It was my nigga Bo.
Absol, yeah, Schoolboy.
Absol, yep, Schoolboy. But this before Schoolboy.
Okay.
But yeah, so I was around all that, man. Went to Mexico with him. Was in video shoots with him, man. This when Kendrick Lamar was K-Dot. You feel me? He wasn't even Kendrick Lamar yet. His rap name was K-Dot. So
yeah.
I was a cocky young motherfucker. You feel me? They like, man, K-Dot the hardest 19-year-old. And I'm like, you must ain't heard my shit. You know what I mean? I'm a year older than K-Dot. You feel me? I was too cocky, young man. I was too cocky. I just had to learn. He put in a lot of work. You feel me? He had a lot of mixtapes. He put it in the work. You put it in the work, and you get your turn, and you feel me? You gotta put the work in.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know about K-Dot from when he started with the Youngest Head Nigga in Charge mixtape that when he dropped when he was in high school.
Man, he had Training Day.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, and of course Section 80, which a lot of people think that Good Kid, Mad City was his first album, but no, Section 80 was his first official album.
Yeah,
you know,
he used to do the background vocals for J-Rock.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was background. I'm talking about K-Dot put in that work, man. He was doing ad-libs on J-Rock songs.
Now, was this before? Now, was it with the shout out to the Nick, you know, where J-Rock come from, Bounty Hunter Blood, Stand Up, Nickerson Gardens, you know, keeping it red all day. What was that like? Now, pretty much was that on J-Rock's Follow Me Home album, which was his debut, or was that before
the song he had with Lil Wayne? What was it called? The song he had with Lil Wayne.
All My Life, I think.
All My Life. Yeah. First it was Kendrick Lamar doing the singing background, and then they put Will I Am on it.
Gotcha.
Will I Am singing. It was Kendrick Lamar singing that shit. Oh God.
Oh man.
A lot of people don't know that though. That was my.
And it's crazy. Yeah, man, and it's crazy because to see how all of you, you know, were pretty much intermingled before you all came big. I mean, but it's not only from the music perspective. It was just how it just seems to be an entrepreneurial spirit that has taken over in terms of understanding that, you know, because of course you got a first generation, you know, with Ice Cube and Snoop Dogg, you know, of course, you know, Ice Cube as one of the greatest ever, of course, you know, and of course after, you know, halfway through his rapping career, he started acting, and now this dude is like a director, you know, producer. You know, a lot of youngins today know Cube is, you know, the actor. You know, we know, we're older, so we know Cube is like...
We know him as America's Most Wanted.
Wanted Cube, yeah. You know, the Predator Ice Cube, you know, the Lethal Injection Cube. And it's like, and now we see Snoop, you know what I'm saying? You know, Snoop was, you know, deep cover Snoop, and now we see, you know, Snoop had his own Cadillac at one time, the Snoop DeVille, and... You know, Snoop got
his own jackets now. That nigga got a jacket going viral right now. Snoopy clothing. Shout out to Snoopy clothing, man.
Yeah, man. You know, I mean, it's like, and of course, you know, you got, you know, BG Perico, you know, Broadway Gangsta. You know, he got his company, So Way Out, you know, with his clothing line. You know, you got YG, you know, with his 400 clothing. I mean, what's it like seeing everybody out in L.A. from both sides of the flag, like really like taking into their own hands their entrepreneurial endeavors and really expanding?
Hell yeah. It's a beautiful time right now, man, for the West Coast, man, I promise you.
Definitely. Now, in terms of our
that Renaissance was heavily slept on.
Yeah, man.
But in the past decade, the West Coast Renaissance, that was heavily slept on, of course. And then y'all kept pushing that line even further. Keep pushing it any further. They're like, okay, we back in the game now. Y'all ain't shutting us out. And it's fresh.
Exactly.
Who would you like to collaborate with as you go along, you know, doing what you do?
Oh, man, I really want to, honestly, me and G Malone, man, me and G Malone, we done had some phone conversations. It's crazy, like a few months ago. I really want to do a song with G, man. Like, even him being on the phone with him and he just tells me about my music, man, I look up to G Malone. I really want to do a song with G Malone, first and foremost, you feel me?
Man, yeah, shout out to Glass Malone out in Watts. We actually had him on a couple of years ago. Yeah, real solid dude, man. Yeah, we had him on the show. Real good guy. Yeah, man. I mean, it's one thing about it is that when you see a lot of the artists who've been grinding for so long, you know, how important is it to really have that hometown support? You know, because I remember watching a Compton documentary on A&E about back in 2016, you know, a Game where they profiled Game and Kendrick, but it was really about the city itself. And when Game, you know, had his interview segment, he was talking about when he sat down with Dre, you know, Dre was asking him, you know, is your hood fucking with you? And Game was like, yeah, they fucking with me. And Dre was like, good, because if your hood don't fuck with you, the world won't fuck with you. How important is it to have that hometown support before you really take it to the next level?
Yeah, it's important, but times change though. It's like the internet. You feel me? Like it's important. Don't get me wrong. Like the homies fuck with me, the hood fuck with me, but like ain't nobody gonna support you more than somebody that you don't know. You feel what I'm saying? It's gonna be that motherfucker from some small little town that you don't know that's gonna support you the most. Cause to motherfuckers in the hood, you know, they know you by government and everything. To them, you always gonna be you. Yeah, they show love, they support for sure. But it's gonna be that motherfucker that you don't even know, that don't know nothing about you, that's gonna support you the most for sure. We just times is just changing, man.
Definitely. And pretty much, and I guess that's something, you know, that's always unique in terms of an actual home turf, because like you said, the familiarity, because people really don't a lot of times appreciate the artistry that somebody has until it's validated by the public at large. But a lot of people don't understand, you know, is that, you know, everybody starts from somewhere. You know, there's always those open mics. There's always, you know, in the clubs, there's always those lonely nights at home writing. You know, just basically, you know, as I said, you're the one that has a vision, and you're trying to execute that vision to your design in terms of what your aim and your goals are. And like you said, not everybody is going to understand, you know, your motivations, you know, your aspirations, your dream, your hustle, and where you want it to culminate in. But, you know, but you have to really be one in terms of really believing in yourself and knowing that you can do it. But in terms of really getting into, in terms of really being able to take it in terms of what we say, take your show on the road, what do artists have to understand in terms of the aspects of understanding that to be a really dope MC, it takes time and it takes work? Because some artists try to shortcut the process. And you can't Tell us about what artists need to know in terms of coming in and really understanding what it takes to really get to that next level, and even getting a good starting point for it.
Man, listen, it's going to be nice when you're hungry. It's going to be nice. You can't even afford studio time. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be nice. You're going to be in the studio with niggas recording, and you don't even get a chance to record. You just got to sit back, wait your turn, man, and be hungry. Everybody get their time to shine, and when it's your turn, you got to do your thing.
Right.
Especially with them studio prices or that studio time, that's
man, I done been in the studio with G Malone. Man, I done been in the studio with G Malone years ago. You feel me? With G Malone and K-Boy, I wanted to rap so bad. You know, being a musician, you want to go show your shit, so you got it too. But I learned it took a long time, because now is the time. Now I'm ready. Now the world is ready to hear Ros P and know my story.
Definitely. And a lot of times,
they also got to be looked at like patience. They also got to be looked at like patience. Is the key virtue of really making.
A lot of people don't got that. A lot of people don't got that. They think it happened overnight.
In terms of being in the studio, how important is it to have a team in terms of really having people? Because when you have, before, you know, once you've got your, you know, the vision of the sonics you want, you've got your lyrics written, how important is it to actually get into the studio to have people that really know what they're doing in terms of your engineers, your mixers, you know, everybody who has their design job to make sure that everything comes out? Because, you know, people don't understand when you're doing it, this is like a job interview to your potential fans. You know, you have to present something to them that is actually like you're showing that you're serious about your craft. How important is it to have? Go ahead.
Yeah, it's real important. A lot of people don't understand this shit is like an art. And me, I don't write music, so I can't have no bad vibes. So 9 times out of 10, it's gonna be just me and my engineer. You feel me? When I go to the studio, and I'm gonna have a bottle of 1738. But that's about it, man. Because this shit is an art. And like I said, I don't write no music, so I go off a vibe and off what I'm going through today. I go to the studio and lay a track, which is what's going on in my life. It's real life. And when you're telling a real story, real can recognize the real. You feel me?
Definitely, it's all about vibes at the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and a lot of people know me. I've been around. I've been in the studio with G Malone, video shoots, Bishop Lamont. Feel me? I've been around with Top Dog Entertainment. Went to Mexico with him. I've been around, so a lot of people know. And when a lot of people seeing, they like, okay, it's time.
Definitely. Now you were saying you said you were around with Top Dog. How did that collaboration come in terms of you getting to know Anthony, Tiffler, Kendrick, Schoolboy, because Schoolboy is a fellow Blue Crew with you too, being 52 Hoover.
Yeah, exactly. From Hoover, yeah.
So, yeah, Hoover Criminals. How was that pretty much how did that meeting come about?
Well, that came about, just off, me being so close to LA. That just came about from the homie from my hood, his brother, and Big Lee. Shout out to Jazzy Management. You feel me? Shout out to B.O., you feel me? We really was, he the DJ right now for J-Rock. You feel me? He really was the one, because if you know Top Dog, it was J-Rock, Kendrick, it was my nigga Bo.
Absol, yeah, Schoolboy.
Absol, yep, Schoolboy. But this before Schoolboy.
Okay.
But yeah, so I was around all that, man. Went to Mexico with him. Was in video shoots with him, man. This when Kendrick Lamar was K-Dot. You feel me? He wasn't even Kendrick Lamar yet. His rap name was K-Dot. So
yeah.
I was a cocky young motherfucker. You feel me? They like, man, K-Dot the hardest 19-year-old. And I'm like, you must ain't heard my shit. You know what I mean? I'm a year older than K-Dot. You feel me? I was too cocky, young man. I was too cocky. I just had to learn. He put in a lot of work. You feel me? He had a lot of mixtapes. He put it in the work. You put it in the work, and you get your turn, and you feel me? You got to put the work in.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know about K-Dot from when he started with the Youngest Head Nigga in Charge mixtape, and when he dropped when he was in high school.
And he had Training Day.
Yeah. Yeah, and of course Section 80, which a lot of people think that Good Kid, Mad City was his first album. No, Section 80 was his first official album.
Yeah,
he
used to do the background vocals for J-Rock.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was background. I'm talking about K-Dot put in that work, man. He was doing ad-libs on J-Rock songs.
Now, was this before? Now, was the shout out to the Nick, where J-Rock come from, Bounty Hunter Blood, Stand Up, Nickerson Gardens, keeping it red all day. What was that like? Now, pretty much was that on J-Rock's Follow Me Home album, which was his debut, or was that before?
The song he had with Lil Wayne. What was it called? The song he had with Lil Wayne.
All My Life, I think.
All My Life. Yeah. First it was Kendrick Lamar doing the singing background, and then they put Will I Am on it.
Got
Will I Am singing. It was Kendrick Lamar singing that shit. Oh God.
Oh man.
A lot of people don't know that though. That was my.
And it's crazy. Yeah, man, and it's crazy because to see how all of you, were pretty much intermingled before you all came big. I mean, but it's not only from the music perspective. It was just how it just seems to be an entrepreneurial spirit that has taken over in terms of understanding that, because of course you got a first generation, with Ice Cube and Snoop Dogg, of course, Ice Cube as one of the greatest ever, of course, and of course after, halfway through his rapping career, he started acting, and now this dude is like a director, producer. A lot of youngins today know Cube is the actor. We know we're older, so we know Cube is like.
We know him as America's Most Wanted.
Wanted Cube, yeah. The Predator Ice Cube. The Lethal Injection Cube, and it's like, and now we see Snoop. You know what I'm saying? Snoop was deep cover Snoop, and now we see Snoop had his own Cadillac at one time, the Snoop DeVille, and. Snoop got
his own jackets now. That nigga got a jacket going viral right now. Snoopy clothing. Shout out to Snoopy clothing, man.
Yeah, man. It's like, what was so? And of course, you got BG Perico. Broadway Gangsta. He got his company So Way Out. With his clothing line. You got YG. With his 400 clothing. I mean, what's it like? Seeing everybody out in LA from both sides of the flag, like really, like taking into their own hands their entrepreneurial endeavors and really expanding.
Yeah. it's a beautiful time right now, man, for the West Coast, man. I promise you.
Definitely. Now, in terms of outside,
yeah, that Renaissance, that Renaissance was heavily slept on.
Yeah, man.
But in the past decade, the West Coast Renaissance, that was heavily slept on, of course. And then y'all kept pushing that line even further. Keep pushing it any further. It's like, okay, we back in the game now. Y'all ain't shutting us out. And it's fresh.
Exactly.
Definitely. Now, in terms of outside of rapping, Ros, what are some of your other hobbies and what are some of your other endeavors that you hope to get into, as you go on doing what you do?
Really, real estate. I own a couple properties right now in Ohio.
Okay.
You feel me? It's a little cheaper market. You feel me? But yeah, really just real estate, man, and branding myself. Really trying to follow in Nipsey footsteps, man. For real. The music for me, that's just you feel me? Just to get into entertainment and really branch off with it. Don't get it twisted. I'm an artist do music, though. This is my main love, my main. You feel me? I just want to really branch off on the business side and probably do a couple little films, little short films. Matter of fact, how Snoop reposted my video, the guy who directed the Tupac movie, he reposted it and Snoop seen it. So I actually then had conversations with him, trying to get advice about shooting short films and everything. So
LT Hutton, right?
Yeah, LT Hutton, yeah. Shout out LT Hutton, man.
Yeah, now you said you got into real estate. What made you get into that in terms of really is another way of enterprise and a tycooning?
Yeah, my dad and uncle.
Got you. And what advice do they tell you in terms of properties? Because a lot of people think it's just as easy, like flip this house on TV easy, and you got to realize,
hell no,
people be yeah. Tell people about the science of it.
I mean, like it's patience with that too. You feel me? But it's a good investment. You can't really go wrong with it. But never rent out to no family. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
Family be taking advantage they'll be straight squatting for 6 months to a year, don't even want to make payments.
Yeah, don't do that though. But yeah, man, besides that, no, but for real though, it's a good investment, man. I say try to invest with your money and invest your money back in your music, man. If that's what you want to do, if that's what you love to do, man, you can do anything you want to do. You feel me? It ain't gonna be easy. It ain't gonna be easy at all, man. I was in prison, motherfuckers was laughing at my rap. Now look at me. You feel me? Like so.
Definitely, man. And it pretty much, I think, now how important is it for artists to understand that level of business in terms of understanding that music is great, but you also have to have the side hustles as well, and in terms of understanding how to not blow your money on, on bitches, Beamers, Bentleys, and trying to ball out with the bling. How important is it to make sure you got your bank in the right place?
Oh, yeah, it's important, but I ain't going to lie, I done did it all. When you first get that bag, you're going to buy everything you wanted to get. I ain't going to lie. You're going to buy everything you wanted to get. I went through every level, man. I went from not having nowhere to stay to sleeping on couches. So what I do when I got a bag, I bought the most expensive bed. You feel me? Spent 10 on a 10. I done did it all, man. But then after you go through that, you learn what's important and what ain't important. So you feel me? I feel like as a man and as a human being, you're gonna do what you want with your money. But I would advise you to invest. You feel me? Get some property or something, buy your mama house, something like that.
Yeah, I think that's a great trade to take up on, because that's one of the biggest battles that we also facing as people is our hoods getting gentrified, and it's pushing all the people that we love out. So buying on the block is the great solution.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Marshawn Lynch out in Oakland. From what I understand, he's been buying property out there, to keep it, to, make sure, the hood, has their, make sure everybody still can live there. And, of course, Jay Prince, shout out to Jay Prince, as we affectionately call, respectfully call the old man, reading his book, The Art of Science of Respect. I think he bought out some apartment complexes. I think he either used to stay in or, what have you, and he owns those now, and of course, Nipsey, of course, it bought out that whole shopping center for his Marathon clothing brand, with the store, so it's always important to look at those moves in terms of what's coming next in terms of, just planning ahead, because you want to have something for your future generations, as you move, we look at guys like Master P, E40, Jay-Z, Puff Daddy, who have all moved
Snoop.
into different aspects. Yeah, Snoop, everybody.
Snoop starting his clothing line now. Nipsey tried to get him to do it a long time ago. Now Snoop starting his clothing line.
Now this will probably be his second incarnation, because Snoop, of course, had his Snoop Dogg clothing years back.
Yeah, like in 2002.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I actually had a shirt.
Okay.
Yeah. Shout out.
I actually had a Snoop Dogg clothing shirt.
Yeah,
okay, he got the store now though. Maybe it was the store. Maybe it was having a store or something.
Yeah. But it's basically, and it's a funny thing with fashion, because fashion is so in flux in terms of, because it's funny, man, because we see so many artists from the past, 20 years. Damn, time flies, yo. You see a lot of, like, with Master P, when you had Master P with No Limit Clothing, and you had Eminem with Slim Shady wear. Look, you have Rough Riders with Dirty Denim. You had Busta Rhymes with Bushi. You had Eve with Fetish. I mean, there was like everybody at one time had a clothing line.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
But I guess
and it's
pretty
also
much
about just keeping that clothing fresh too, man, because that's the only thing bad about urban gear is it goes out of style quick.
Yeah, because they try to stay with the times. They don't try to change with the times. They try to stay. You feel me? They don't change with the times. That's like music. That's like music. Like that's why Wayne lasted so long. Wayne always changed the style up. You know what I'm saying? That's why I got, man. Like I just said, I just dropped an R&B mixtape about a week ago. You feel me? Did like 5,000 streams in a couple of days, no promotion or nothing. But it's called Ladies Love Ros P, man. It's a whole R&B mixtape for the ladies. Like, you feel me? Like, I got different sides. Like, you feel me? I got trap music. You feel me? I got all type of. I got different styles. You got to be able to change the time. That's what's gonna last the longest. You gotta be able to keep up with the time.
Yeah, right. You don't want to be FUBU status.
No, exactly. And they tried to bring FUBU back, man. I seen a couple of posts, man. They tried to bring FUBU back, man. It didn't work. I ain't see it after a week.
I think the one thing about it too, y'all, is when you're dealing with fashion and music, a lot of times, because you have the old guard that looks at trap and everything, and it's not that the old guard has, a lot of old school artists have a problem with trap. I think, I think a lot of people look at it from a perspective of once it starts getting popular, everybody wants to do it. And not everybody is a rapper, and not everybody can do it. And anytime you have everybody trying to do it, it gets oversaturated because everybody's, trying to jump in the game, and it loses. When you look at, to me, when you really break it down, me and King talked about this off the air, you could say the first incarnation of trap would have been Ghetto Mafia, going back to 1997. And, of course, you have T.I., who legitimately coined the phrase trap music before it became a thing. So, Tip, really was the one who branded that. He actually is right. He said that before anybody else
popularized it.
But
he popularized it.
Yeah, he really, But when, to me, you look at that trap movement, you have the big three. You got T.I., you have Jeezy, you have Gucci Mane. And to me, those are the three that really, really, brought it to the forefront. But those guys are so distinct in terms of how they brought it in that they really, really brought a new level, a different style of hip-hop that represented for the South. The problem was everybody else who was not those guys, who were not, because I think in any time of rapping, Ross, you have to rap from a real place. Whether if you're lyrical, you can be lyrical. If you're a gangster, you can be gangster. but you got to rap in a vein of how it connects with people from a real sensibility of who you are as a person. Exactly. And I think that's where some people feel like, where you had rappers like, 6ix9ine, Tekashi was really rapping some crazy shit, and really he got known more for his antics outside the music than what he did doing music.
Yeah, that's what helped sell, give him sell record sales.
Yeah, of course, there was that artist, New Age Jerk Boy, who had that video, Married to the Game. I mean, a nigga wearing a fucking wedding dress and putting a gun in his mouth. And we're looking, me saying, man, King, and
he gone.
Oh, that used to be. Yeah, we was like, what the hell is this shit?
He gone now.
He came and gone.
Crazy part. He did. Yeah, he gone now.
What are you gonna do? What you gonna do to top something like that? That's crazy. Niggas is crazy.
Now, what do you
go
feel,
back to Burger King.
Nah.
Now, what do you feel, Ross, about where there is the perceived, where there is a perceived narrative in hip hop in terms of where it's becoming about, like, where you have some artists wearing dresses, and just doing a lot of questionable, suspect behavior that is not consistent with, what the status quo is in the game. And disclaimer on Off the Cuff, we're not homophobic. We love everybody from all walks of life, but there is a lot of people who do feel concerned in terms of, where the there's been a
concern of imagery getting pushed into force into being accepted
to the youth.
Yeah, in terms of where, is being put out there that maybe is not the right message. What is your feelings on that?
Yeah, I for real, like, I mean, a motherfucker's gonna do them, but like you said, it ain't good to get put out for the youth. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Because with music is like a big influence. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and I got some music that I might not want kids to hear. You feel me? It's like,
right,
man, it's a fucked up generation. Niggas wearing wedding dresses and shit in videos, man. That shit crazy. This shit really sad that something like that can actually go viral and you feel me, blow up. Like, it's crazy the type of shit that we support in this world. Like, we'll support negative more than we support positive. You feel what I'm saying? It's just a fucked up time, for real.
Now, where do you think it all started changing in terms of what was being marketed and what was being not only marketed but being accepted by the masses as the game went along?
Once the internet, I can't really say it was accepted. It's just the internet got bigger. Once people start being on the phones more, it was like, it's like a ooh ah effect. Like, oh, this motherfucker just did what? Like, I don't know. It's like a shocking factor, like, or something. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Cause then like Jackass, they was doing crazy shit. Like, I used to watch that shit. Jackass, they was doing crazy shit, jumping off fucking houses and running into shit, crazy ass shit. And then it's like the shit transferred to the internet and just getting crazier and crazier. And it's just probably shit. Instagram, them views, motherfuckers do anything for them views and them likes. Shit.
Now, do you think in terms of social media, it's become a very it's become a element of where people have really lost the understanding of how to interact with each other in a real sense in terms of musically and socially?
Hell yeah, man.
Because
wake up first thing in the morning, get on the internet scrolling. They ain't even brushing their teeth. They ain't getting up, going to make no money, but they on Facebook or Instagram. Like, this shit's sad to me, for real. Like, I feel sorry for the young motherfuckers coming up in this generation, because you got to have a strong head on you. It's a lot of distractions.
It is, man. I think a lot of the youth don't understand how important it is to understand that you have to live your real life outside of it. There's nothing wrong with being an artist or just, all of us collectively, we all have social media, but I don't think any of us are consumed by social media like we're going to do some flippin' ass, crazy, dumb, fucked up shit just to try to get a whole bunch of likes. Because I believe social media at its core is supposed to be about giving people a chance to see who you are in terms of the total complexion of you as a person, in terms of what you like to do and how you interact with others. But you have some people that it's like they really get out there and they really begin to, look, niggas be posting up with cars that are foreign and a lot that ain't there.
It's like a drug. It's like a drug. It's like a drug, man. I'm going to be honest. If I wasn't doing music, I probably honestly wouldn't even be on social media. You feel what I'm saying? But I do music, so I got to be on social media and see what's going on and try to find that next record and know what's hot. And feel me? That's one thing I'm on Instagram. I stay watching, trying to see. I love to see how music changes. You feel me? I don't think I'm the smartest person in the world, but I catch on real quick.
But I think too, Ross, you're an individual that is a student of the game. So you're not
exactly.
you're not somebody who is consumed by media likes in terms of everybody has to like you. You're an individual who stands on his own too in terms of understanding, what you're in it for and what it's designed for. And you're very measured and controlled and disciplined above all in how you handle it. Because I'm sure we're not going to see Ros P's page and Ros P's going to be doing some ratchet ass dumb shit. That ain't you.
I'm a real laid back. You feel me? I'm laid back, man. I stay in my own lane. I just, you feel me, get money and make music, man. That's about it. That's all.
Now,
I ain't on all that.
And I can understand that feeling.
Yeah,
I can understand that feeling about the Instagram and the internet because we all probably come from that stage. We probably both come from that stage.
Internet back and forth.
Go ahead, Ross.
Me either.
I don't like. No, I really don't understand that because if you really mad, why don't you, like, especially people in the industry, y'all all got mutual friends. Y'all know booking people who doing bookings, managers. Y'all can call them motherfucker and check their temperature, but y'all want to do it on the internet.
Right.
Like, what is you really doing this for? Is you doing this for the clout, or why do this over the internet? Why go live? You feel me? That's something I don't get. That's something I don't understand.
Do you think that's an extension of the situations where at the end of the day, because when we look at it, we're all people, we're all flawed, we're all imperfect. It's just when you're a celebrity, it's heightened more because of the status that you're in terms of the spotlight. But do you think with some people, do you think it's a situation, Ross, where people sometimes, even though they are celebrities, they are ill-prepared for the fame that comes along with it in terms of really understanding what it means to be famous?
Yeah, that could be, because I'm sure it could be overwhelming. Like, you feel me? I'm still on the come up, so a lot of shit happened to me overwhelming. But it could be overwhelming, though, for sure. It could be overwhelming. And I think we just all a slave to this internet shit. Like, it's to a point where it's like that's the norm. You feel what I'm saying? It's like the internet is the real world, but really this is the made up. You feel me? You got people that's being real on here, but this stuff we doing behind this internet that you ain't gonna see and you never gonna know.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? And I feel some people expose too much about their life on the internet.
Exactly. Yes.
Like it's two worlds. It's two worlds. And some people let them collide. Some people can't. Some people just can't. You feel me? Just lose control. You're just like a slave of this internet shit. Like, for real. I just deleted my Facebook. Like, people keep hitting me up and telling me that Cuz record's going so viral on Facebook. I just deleted my Facebook like a week and a half ago because I'm just tired of negativity. I'm just trying to stay focused and keep doing what I'm doing. You feel what I'm saying? I don't want to get caught up in no negativity. All the shit I'm accomplishing, the further I go and the more I accomplish, it's like it get harder. From people around me, people around my family, it's just like the hate get worse. Like, you feel what I'm saying? And I'm just trying to stay focused and keep going.
Now, this is not a loaded question, Ross. I'm going to ask you now because of you, being, representing Crip, because obviously, that's a real thing out there. Has there been a lot of pushback for, because that album is, straight up, representing your set and how people are kind of taking it in terms of it being so vocal and, direct?
I mean, it's really, I really ain't. I mean, it's really everything really been positive from it, honestly. Like,
Okay,
I got
good,
bloods.
good,
I got
good.
bloods who love my shit. Like, you feel what I'm saying?
Okay,
Like,
okay.
I get love for everybody. Like, the gang brother, Big Face. Shout out to Big Face. Like, Big Face showed me mad love. Like, I used to go to Compton in the Cedars and sleep on the studio floor and smoke weed with Big Face and nigga let me eat gumbo or whatever. I was home. Like, I might have had all blue on, blue shoes, blue pants, blue shirt, blue hat, and he tell me, nigga, don't go outside over there. But nigga, they treated me like I was, you feel me? Like I was one of them, like I was at home for real.
Shout out to Cedar Block Pyru, man.
That's
see
what's up.
y'all, man. Much love, man. That's what's up. So where was if it wasn't a gang issue, what was the issues in terms of the pushback that you had that was really kind of you knew you had to remove yourself from it?
Oh, really? I really probably have to say like it was really I had to push myself back from it. I didn't want it, but like my mom took me out when I was my senior year in high school. I had moved to Vegas. My mom moved me out the hood for me to get me out. I eventually moved back a couple years after, but that was big for me as far as like knowing I was gonna do the music thing. Like, and a lot of homies, I got a couple homies that's doing life right now, and they look at it like man, you was smart for leaving, but honestly, I didn't have no control over that. But it honestly opened up my eyes to more things, like really doing music, because that's when I really tried to do my first rap. And I just seen different shit. Like my sister was a doctor and shit. I seen shit that I never seen in the hood. Like, you feel what I'm saying? So it just opened up my eyes a lot, man. And looking back, I appreciate that. But being a little young knucklehead, I was mad as fuck. I ain't gonna lie.
Got you. And pretty much, how have you met in terms of being always just being a calm, cool, and collected dude? About basically being able to separate your life from social media. How did you pretty much just manage to be the same individual in terms of not letting the fame get to you? In terms of like you being able to go about your day, not having to worry about being validated by everybody else.
Really, just by the ones that's close to me that know me before then. That's really what keep me humble. And then if I get to a point where I'm kind of like, you feel me, trip that bring me back down, like, you feel me, like that really, and just me, just the way I was raised by my mom, like, you feel what I'm saying, like I don't feel that I'm better than nobody. And just growing up and maturing, man, like I said, like when I was 18, man, like I really felt like I was too cocky. I didn't want to do songs with niggas. I wasn't trying to collab with niggas, like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, I could have had a song with K-Dot easy back then, you feel me? I was too selfish and wasn't trying to just work with people. I felt like nobody was better than Ros P, nobody better than me. But what I learned is it's always going to be somebody better than you who's going to work harder to get to where they at. You feel what I'm saying? There's people in the industry that somebody might feel that I'm better than, but I can't knock them because they did what they did to get in the position that they in.
Got you. And that's something I think the humility, because one thing about it is that we can all have our moments where we may get a little high on the hog.
Exactly.
But it's that element of really understanding that gluttony of ego, you can choke on it. And so when we pull ourselves back from that buffet of arrogance and conceit, we begin to really understand in terms of putting ourselves on a diet of humility and understanding that, we shouldn't be fat on ego, but slim on self-confidence and respect for others in terms of keeping fit in that philosophy. And I think that a lot of artists out there sometimes, like I said, this is why we appreciate you so much being on the show because, for doing what we do. We reach out to a lot of people, and some people kind of blow us off. What it's like.
Oh yeah.
It's like because we're not necessarily, I think we're pretty damn good at what we do. But some people are like, well, y'all not big enough for us. But it's like, but that's like I said, we always appreciate artists. Yeah. But we appreciate artists like yourself who really, are humble and, just, where we can have this time to sit down and really just chop it up, because we learn as much, we always love interviewing our guests, and we always love to learn from our guests. There's never been a guest we didn't learn something that really opened up our eyes to something else.
Exactly.
And I think that's at the end of it. I think that's how we all learn from each other, in terms of understanding the business. Because one thing about it, we've been blessed, for this, for these years that we've been on the air. We've seen, and especially being students of the culture, King, of course, having his background in journalism, and myself being a lifelong hip-hop nerd, we've seen a lot of people come and go who got ahead of themselves. On this show, we never bash anybody, but we just go to facts. One of our best shows had to be with Doug Young. He used to work with Ruthless and Death Row, and he told us the story about MC Hammer. When Hammer was really living it big, and how Hammer kind of let it go to his head. With all that money he had and everything, and Hammer thought that he was untouchable, and but you can make some miscalculations in your business, and it all changes.
Exactly.
You always want to keep it a vision in terms of where you're at, in terms of understanding, like you said, that you're always trying to go up, but if you make that wrong slip on the ladder, it's a hard crash down if you really don't understand, what's going on around you. Pretty much, as you've seen with some artists, how have you seen a lot of artists pretty much try to, who maybe got ahead of themselves? Do you think it's a situation where you could see it before they did, or do you think that was just something they just didn't see it and it all saying you didn't see it and then it caught up with them and it just caught them?
Yeah, I really think they didn't see it. I think they didn't see it. Feel me? Sometimes me myself as an artist, I could feel people hating. You feel me? That come with it, but to a certain extent, you gotta ask yourself, are you the problem sometimes? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Cause it's all about how you talk to people, how you carry yourself, how you treat people. Shit. I really just, like I said to myself, man, I just don't have nobody negative around me. Feel me? And the people that I feel a certain type of way about my energy, like, see, you can't let nobody kill your energy or kill your vibe. Feel me? But you, at the same time, you can't use it in a bad way, like you better than nobody. You can't, just because you got something going good for yourself, I mean you better than the next man. You feel what I'm saying?
Right. And how important is that to basically keep the yes men away from you, in terms of, because you got people that are going to ride with you because they understand what it takes to keep it going, in terms of always being your mechanics, and then you're just going to have the passengers that are just going to sit and not even help you push when things start breaking down. How's it important to keep a strong circle in your clique?
Yeah, it's really important, man, and you gotta notice early on who really cheering for you and who trying to benefit from what you're doing to help them, their situation. You feel what I'm saying? I dropped one song, and all of a sudden, a lot of people on my crew wanted to be rappers, and we started a little label, and I worked so fast, man. I got so many songs you wouldn't believe, man. I worked so fast at a fast pace. So we had some artists part of the label didn't do their first song yet, so they told me to wait, don't record no more songs until they make their first song. Like, how does that work? You feel what I'm saying? If you're not ready, you're not ready. If you're not serious, you're not serious. You feel me? Some people can't make it. Some people can't make it. So it might take them. If it take you more than a day to make a song, this ain't the business for you.
Yeah, it's funny you say that, because I was reading the Don Diva magazine, and they interviewed Young Dolph, and they were asking Dolph, about, in terms of what he, in terms of his label, PRE, Paper Route Entertainment, and they were just asking in terms of, like, about signing artists and everything, because, he's got Key Glock on it, and that's his guy.
Yeah.
But they were just asking him in general about, do you have, like, A&R, your artist and repertoire, artist and development, and all that. And Dolph was like, man, and I could just imagine, because this is a print article, so I can just imagine Dolph's baritone, like, man, I don't even know what the fuck that is. He said, I don't even know what the fuck that is, man. He's like, look, Dolph was like, I don't even know what the fuck that is. He's like, basically, I ain't got no time for no artist development, man. He's like, I think you ready or you not.
Exactly. No, exactly. And that's another thing. People try to rush. Man, listen. When you don't rush it and it genuinely happen, the feeling is way better. And you know when it's time. It's not going to happen necessarily when you want it to happen. Man,
Right.
I've been wanting Snoop to repost my videos for the last 6 years. It's not going to happen when you want it to happen. It's going to happen when it's meant to happen.
Right. And how big was that when you found out that Boss Dogg, Uncle Snoop, actually did you have any idea that he had heard it, or was that just one of those things that just came out of nowhere that you just heard that he posted it on his page?
And I swear it came out of nowhere. Somebody tagged me. I was like, what? I couldn't even believe it was a real Snoop Dogg page. It was so crazy, though, because it was 3 days. It was crazy. I had woke up that morning, the morning that Snoop posted it. I had woke up that morning, and I seen somebody had posted it. And it had a lot of views, and I'm like, damn, this shit going crazy. So then next thing I know, a couple hours later, I see somebody tag me, and I see Snoop Dogg name. I'm like, what the hell? That shit was crazy. I can't even tell you who the first. I done called so many people. I can't even tell you the first person I called to tell them the news. Man, that shit was wild.
I know you had to you had to rub your eyes a little bit and look at it. Is this a real Snoop Dogg page?
Man, what the hell, man? It's crazy. I feel unbelievable. Still to right now.
And how did you feel to see a legend like Snoop, who is so proactive in terms of helping the youngins out, pushing them? Because it's not only yourself and of course, P Nice, but it's also guys like, Compton AV, and just so many other artists that
even Bow Wow.
And don't.
He put
Bow
Wow.
Wow. I mean, how does that feel to know a guy like Snoop is still looking out for the young kids coming up?
Man, that's big. That's big. He posted my boy Dope Boy Sauce. I had the Crippin' on You. He posted Dope Boy Sauce too. Well, I was about to say, that shit, bro. Snoop Dogg, man, he just a real one. He no talent. He no talent. He hears something good. And then it's so crazy, he ain't put no laughing emojis or nothing on there. He really like that shit though. That's the OG right there, man. I can't wait to meet him, man. Matter of fact, he was K-Boy was in the studio with him, talking to him a couple months back. So I seen that. I'm like, damn, man. I'm like, what it feel like to meet Snoop? You feel what I'm saying? And then Snoop posted my video, man. I can't wait to meet him.
Yeah, man, and that's one thing about it, man. I mean, but he's always been so respected, and to watch Snoop, because like I said, we was young niggas when Deep Cover came out, back in '92. So it's like we in high school and shit. So it's like, Snoop always had the swag about him. But to see where he came from then, being off the block to, become, of course, doing the Chronic with Dre and then having Doggy Style, his own album, and then just moving. I mean, yeah, man. I mean, just to see, and now Snoop is like what, in his, close to 50, if not in his 50s, and it's like he's still the same dude, and it's like he still is holding it down in terms of really keeping his, keeping those arms open to bring in the new, the new kids, and just teaching them, how the game goes. I mean, you're right. One thing you're right too about Ross is he knows talent. For one thing about it, y'all, for all of our listeners, call numbers 1-619-924-0703. Off the Cuff Radio. We are here with the one, the only, from Eastern Street, out in reality, Ros P. If nobody has ever heard Snoop Dogg's compilation album, Welcome to the House Volume 1, y'all need to listen to it. Trust me, you'll thank me. Listen to his solo albums is one thing, but to listen to Snoop with that compilation album with all the artists he had at that time back in 2002, unbelievable. And shout out to Uncle Coke, representing 357 Chris from Pomona because he was on it too. Cocaine, man. I mean, that album was unbelievable. Snoop had Doggy's Angels. The East Siders. The list goes on in terms of people Snoop done bought in the game, man.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. You pretty much you're on your way in terms of really being representing, Southern California. Have you kept your ears open to the northern side? Northern side out in like Sacramento with guys like Mozzie, of course. Out in Sacramento. Shout out to the 916, and of course, with Cookie Money out in Oakland as well. Are you familiar with those guys?
Yeah, I'm familiar with them. I fuck with them, man. D-Lo, Mr. NoHo, I fuck with D-Lo, yeah.
Okay.
My boy Young Keys, shout out to Young Keys, the real Mr. Too Cocky. You feel me? From East Oakland.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So definitely, when we gonna see that Rialto Northern California collabo, man.
That's coming real soon. That's coming real soon, man. That's coming real soon.
Definitely. So in terms of your writing process, take us through what it's like for Ros when he's getting his rhymes on, in terms of what a session's like in the studio, in terms of how you really set your radar up for, kicking that raw shit.
Yeah, I really just I don't write my music, so I just go in the studio and find a beat. You feel me? It's basically I really rap this shit from my soul. That's the difference between me now and in the past when I was around K-Boy and G Malone and Top Dog. I learned how to really rap that shit from the heart, you feel me, and from my soul. So you feel me? I might have an idea of a title before I go in the booth, but pretty much I go in the booth. I ain't gonna lie, I shock myself sometimes. I go in that motherfucker, I walk in there, I don't know what I'm gonna say. I just let the beat talk to me. It's like I hear it when that beat plays. It just come to me. And sometimes I have to go through 10 beats, but by the first 5 or 10 seconds, I already know. I'm like, okay, this is the one. Before I even had the words, when I hear the beat, like the first 5 seconds.
Now, when you did the Cuz, how did that come about?
When I did the Cuz, how did that come about?
Yeah, because that was we've talked so much, but we didn't even get to the essence of when you, you just really it just flowed, man. It's it was just, like you said, you referred out, you got.
You can't go wrong with music, Soul Child.
Yeah.
It was just natural, man. Just to keep it real, it wasn't even really nothing so spectacular about it. It was just natural, bro. You feel me? I came up with the idea. I said, because I'm always looking for something to remix. You feel me? I call myself the remix crip. You feel me? So I'm always looking for something to remix, and I'm like, man, I told the engineer pull up that Love instrumental, and he just playing it, and I'm like, man, I'm about to go in on this bitch. I told him, I said, man, we about to go viral. I said, this about to be bigger than Crip Too Hard. Oh God, it's what's so crazy is it's like I know I really speak that shit before the video and everything. I'm like, man, it's about to go crazy.
Yeah, man. But one thing about it is that the internet don't lie in terms of when you really bust, in terms of really breaking through. Because one thing about it, I think a lot of times, there's no substitute for good music. And the reality is when you got the talent, it's always going to find its way, and one thing about it is I tell anybody, always believe in what you do, because if you really, really got some hot shit, somebody is listening.
Exactly. And when you got good people around you, like I said, when I was around Top Dog and all that, they used to tell me that I got it, and to me it was like they telling me I'm gonna meet these people and all that. I'm like, yeah, right. I didn't think I could do it, but now I push myself to a point. I'm gonna go to the studio every day. I'm gonna do a song at least every day, and I shock myself every day, every time I do a song. like it should be amazing to go in the studio and freestyle some shit that really motherfucker the whole world to feel, and motherfuckers like Snoop Dogg and Repulse. It's like what's next? It's only gonna get bigger and better. You feel me? Cause I ain't gonna stop.
And you freestyling, that shows the peak of greatness right there, because Big never wrote his raps, Jay never writes his raps.
Yeah, man, I ain't gonna lie, man. Sometimes I go in there, you know how they talk about this mumble rap and all that. I swear, I go in there, and I wish I would have recorded some of these sessions. That's another thing I'm trying to do for this year, record my process of making the music, because it's like an art in itself. And I swear I would go in there, I would pick the beat like the beat, go in there and just start rapping. And sometimes I'll mumble some shit, but then I'll fill it in. Crazy.
And what's the biggest leap you've seen from when you started to where you are now in terms of watching your own personal growth as an artist and your development in terms of style, understanding, how to, in terms of your bar structure in reference to your, because you said you freestyle, but over the time you understand, you're counting off, in terms of your melody, in terms of where the beat is, making sure that everything is in sync in terms of it's in rhythm. How have you seen yourself over the years really being able to really become more polished and nuanced in terms of what you do?
How do I see myself coming more polished? Just keep working and staying consistent. My goal this year is to drop a mixtape every month. I got a mixtape from now. I just dropped one in January. I got one for February, and I got one for March. So my goal is, because one thing I learned about myself, I get better as I go. That's something I learned last year. I get better as I go. So I keep pushing myself, because I know it's only going to get greater. So sometimes, man, I go in that studio and I play the beat, and then I come up with something. I'll be like, man, that should be so crazy, man. I got to start recording my sessions. And as far as me saying I don't have no team, I got an engineer. You feel what I'm saying? So he part of my team. So you feel me? I kind of lied about that. My engineer, he a big key in my success, because he give me good feedback when I'm recording. Some people will record you and let you say anything. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna be like, yes, man. But he always make me challenge myself. Like, he'd be like, okay, you could do this better, or you could say this better another way. You feel what I'm saying? So that's big too. You gotta have the right people around you.
Now, in terms of you really still filling out your team, in terms of videographers, this, that, and the other, what are the
B Visions.
What are you
Shout out my director. B Visions, man.
Okay. Definitely. And pretty much, how is it in terms of when you're getting an idea for a video, like what you did for the Crip 2 Hall? How was that? How did that come about in terms of really getting the vision for that?
Oh, that was crazy. Basically, I seen the Doughboy Sauce, the Crippin' on You video, and I seen he had his blue bandana shirt. So I went to his page, and I seen he tagged Who Made It. So I hit up the dude who made it, Rich Guy. You feel me? Shout out to Rich Guy, made by Rich Guy. I hit him up and got the sweater made. You feel me? Got the same shirt, but it had a hoodie on it. You feel me? Got the sweater made, and me and my cousin, Joy, free Joy. He got 6 months though, but free him. So it was just me and him gonna be in a video, and my girl. You feel me? And so we put up at the gas station and went live, and everybody pulled up to that motherfucker. Like, that shit was epic. Like, I guess because everybody seen what we had on, they was like, man, what the fuck they got going on? And everybody just pulled up, man, and that shit was just natural.
So was it any announcement on the IG or the Twitter that y'all were shooting a video, or just everybody saw it and they just came?
I posted on Facebook, but on the come up, when you doing stuff, people kind of really don't pay attention until it's too late. Like after the video drop, people like, why you didn't tell me the video was coming? Like, I posted it on all my social media, said I was doing the video. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It's kind of weird.
But that had to be something really special to see everybody just come out the way that they did and support, man.
That was crazy. You can't pay for that. You can't pay for that type of support. Like, you feel what I'm saying? But that's all on the process, on the come up though. You feel what I'm saying? That's the funnest part of everything. You feel me? Like, somebody told me the things that's the most exciting and the most fun is on the way before you make it. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, yeah, it's
Definitely.
like because you're a passenger. Yeah, in terms of just seeing how everything comes, you
Yeah,
know,
exactly.
because one thing about it is, like you said, when people really, really get behind you, you know, because the video, you just feel it was like just one big ass gangster party. Like everybody was just
Yeah,
having
bro.
fun, you know, and but you can't fabricate that type of enjoyment in that party environment, and to see how everybody was so just you know, who everybody just had a good time, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I leaked the song out. And I leaked the song out before the video was out. So the song on YouTube by itself with just a picture, it had like 1,000 views on YouTube. So they all could have heard it. So when I said I was shooting it, they all pulled up. But I would have never expected to go as viral as it did. And like I said, like, you know how you'll shoot a video and you try to get all these people to come, but it's better when it's natural, when everybody just want to come. Feel what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Right.
you know, and you know, King and myself, you know, we you know, King, you know, King's really been around it, you know, in depth in terms of his experience as a journalist and just being all over. You know, he's got way more. He's seen way more than I have, and I've seen, you know, and I've seen a little, but we've seen it how when artists, you know, are trying to get a video shoot out, you know, and like you said, man, you know, to see everybody just come out because it's real love is one thing, but you know, you get some artists that kind of overestimate, you know, who their popularity, and then it's like those videos don't necessarily be coming off like they thought it would in terms of it.
Exactly.
You know, trying to, you know, so when people come out genuinely because they want to support you, there's nothing like it.
Yeah, I had to see. Another thing people don't know, I shot like, in 2019, I shot like 12 music videos. So you feel me? It was a lot of trial and error with me. You know, certain ones that I thought was gonna blow up and take off didn't, and the ones,
right.
But the ones that blew, it's like this. It's a lot of songs you would do, and you gonna be like, this the one that's gonna go. But sometimes you get that feeling like for the Crip Too Hard and the Cuz, I got that one feeling like I knew without a doubt it was gonna go viral.
And that's the thing about
and
it,
that's
Rob,
the good thing about
yeah.
Yeah, I was saying that's the thing about posting up content is that you never know which one is gonna pop off. That's why you can't really stop, because you never know where anytime somebody could just backtrack and just go to your work from 2015 and be like, okay, we're gonna put big money behind this, and we're gonna shoot this for the stars right here. So that's why I tell people don't even give up and stop putting out stuff. Don't even erase your old stuff. You gotta have a clear resume.
Yeah, I got 3 videos I'm about to shoot right now. Like, my mind works so fast. I got 3 videos I'm about to shoot. I don't even know how. Like, you feel me? I just know I got the records done, and I'm about to do it. Shit, I'm trying to do a short film. One of them I'm trying to do a short film. Man, I'm 2020, man. I'm going harder than I did last year. The only thing that can happen is it's just gonna get better. Period.
Yeah, and like King was saying, you know, you just got to keep pushing. You know, like with Lizzo, until she did the True video last year. You know, Lizzo does some crazy things, but one thing I can say about her is, in terms of her celebrity, in terms of her success, she's earned it because she really worked a lot of years to really and fought through a lot to get to where she is. You know, so Truth was a song that really broke her through, but she had like a lot of stuff going back years before that one really caught.
Yeah, so, a lot of people don't realize that, though. A lot of people, because that one song take off, they hear you then, and they think that's all you did. Oh, motherfucker done did 20 videos for that.
Yeah. And you just got to keep pushing in terms of understanding, you know. And this is the thing, like we said earlier, people got to understand it's a process in terms of where you're really trying to get to in terms of being out there, you know, because anytime you dare to do, it's not a failure because you've tried, because so many people don't even try to begin with. And
that's why a lot of people don't make it.
Yeah. And, you know, and we all going to make, you know, hits and misses, you know, but we always swing for it just to see what happens. But when you actually find that situation that catches for you, you know, it gives you it's basically the success is a culmination of everything you've done to where you may have made miscalculations or slips. You may stumble, you may fall, but it's about getting up, understanding that at the end of it, you still kept moving. And so many artists, we've seen. I look at, a lot of people, with Jay-Z's Reasonable Doubt, with Nas's Illmatic, both were classics, but Nas didn't go platinum with Illmatic till like damn near 10 years after it came out. That was released in 1994, and I don't think it went gold or platinum till like 2002.
That's crazy.
Jay-Z's Reasonable Doubt, I don't think that went gold until like maybe that was released in 96. I don't think Reasonable Doubt went gold until maybe like 2001, maybe.
That's crazy.
And Jay-Z didn't really hit heavy until his third album. And we know Jigga in terms of who he is now. We know Nas of who he is now. But it's like even with them, although they never were whack, there were times that in terms of, what did Jay say, on Hard Knock Life? He said, I put out my first album and y'all lamed out, didn't really appreciate it until the second one came out, So it happens like that. But you just keep moving. So, but yeah, man, I mean, one thing about it, man, us interviewing you got a good head on your shoulders, man. You obviously know the direction you're trying to go. Your humility is just, is just unbelievable, man. And I mean, most importantly, you've understood where you've been in terms of the trials and tribulations that you've overcome, and you've used those as the stepping stones to get to that, tower of success that you're destined for, man. And that's something that, we're happy at Off the Cuff, to support you, man. And
I appreciate the support.
Yeah, man. So I mean, but it's definitely it's so. I mean, pretty much. Have you? How's your media run been in terms of like? Have you gotten the look of any magazines like Double XL Source, Don Diva, Feds, Hip Hop DX? Have any outlets reached out to you in terms of print or other media in terms of doing interviews, in terms of really get what's that buzz been like for you out there on that end, or is it still kind of still working? Go ahead.
It's still kind of fresh right now. I had a magazine hit me up. I'm not sure. I can't remember the name though. But it's still kind of everything's still kind of fresh right now.
Mhm.
But I'm about to be going on tour this year with DJ Pressure, Young Scooter DJ. We might be out your way for real.
Oh, that's what's up, man. Definitely, man. Yeah. Now, what have you learned about in terms of logistics of? Yeah, man. Now, in terms of tour life, because you've already done a couple of mini tours prior to this, but in terms of like gearing up, what is tour life like in terms of rehearsals and just prepping yourself? How important is it in terms of having your stage show set and in terms of eating right and just having your health in order to really be for the grind in terms of doing all that moving and traveling?
Yeah, you got to be ready for that because being on the road, it get hard being on the road. But it's don't get it twisted. It's fun though. But when you on that road day in day out, it's tiring. It's work at the end of the day. Like I said, you got to. That's why it's all a process. That's like the tours that I went on and stuff. It just let me know I'm ready. You feel me? Because when you rush it, that's when you mess up. You feel me?
Right.
But when you're ready for it, you're ready for it. The timing is just the timing right for everything. I don't even need to do no rehearsals. My music is so real and from the heart. As soon as that beat drop, it's like I'm a black out.
So take us back to your first show that you ever did. What was that like?
My first show, I opened up for Mario in Redlands, California. My first show was lit. My first show, that was crazy. I was late. look, I was so excited about the show, I offered to perform first. You know, you gotta have like 3 artists perform before the big name.
Right.
And I was so excited.
Yeah.
I offered to perform first, and I was late. So look, I was late, right? So I get in there. I'm trying to say what's up to everybody in the crowd. Man, they went in. The promoter when they came and grabbed me, like, man, go on stage, go on stage. Man, it was so fun, man. That shit was fun. That was funner than, for real, my first show. That shit was crazy, man. It was so crazy. I didn't have no butterflies though. I wasn't even like the excitement. I had the excitement, like, you feel what I'm saying, but I wasn't nervous. It's like when it's real. That beat drop shit.
Definitely.
Like that's what I want to do.
And when you see a lot of artists, sometimes, especially, sometimes their egos get in the way in terms of how much they're getting paid from or to who goes first. What do artists have to learn about in terms of when they're starting out, opening up for somebody, in terms of understanding that process?
Yeah, when you starting off, man, you can't be on no superstar shit. Like, you gotta be humble. Like I'm a humble rapper. I done did shows and opened up for Boosie and Plies, and my dressing room was right next to Boosie and Plies. Like, I done did a lot. Like, you feel me? I think for artists that's not humble, I think I don't try to wish bad on nobody. Like, I feel like it messes up their career. Like, the cockiness. Because nowadays, a lot of people that rap, you can get a door closed for how you act. You feel me? You can get blackballed, anything. You saying the wrong thing about the wrong person can mess up your career. You beefing with the wrong person can mess up your career. You feel what I'm saying? It ain't, to me, it's more business.
Yeah.
It's more business than music.
Mm-hmm.
So
and what you said earlier, Rob, definitely. What you said, Rob,
very
earlier
relationship
about
based.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically it is.
Yeah, what King said, yeah. And, King, definitely what you said is relationship based is real. I mean, just, tell our audience about in terms of understanding, because you being a journalist, you understood this, you understood this being a relationship based business. And how does that really facilitate
hey, I got it. Damn.
How you, oh.
Damn. Hello?
Yeah, we here.
Yeah, go ahead. I just gotta kind of wrap it up a couple of minutes. I gotta let.
Okay, yeah. But I was just gonna ask King to elaborate a bit about the relationship aspect in terms of how, artists have to understand it. If you would, King.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very relationship business. Everything is like set up like how the United Nations was set up. You know how the United Nations was set up with countries, and they all unified. Like, America can't go over there and pick a war with Iran or North Korea, because North Korea is connected to Russia, and Russia is connected to China. It's the same way with this business here. It's like you can't, let's say, go in and attack a guy like Drake without any reason to merit, because he's connected to Rap-A-Lot, he's connected to Universal, he's connected to Cash Money. So you're facing risk of blackball, or you're facing risk of you're not really getting any shows. So it's like a careful game. I mean, we know that hip-hop, it's always been very competitive, and the battle aspect has always been there. But Tupac said it best: if you want to go to war, you better have your money right.
Exactly.
And Ross, what you said earlier was real about how, because there's always going to be disagreements in the game. That's just human nature, especially when money and ego is involved. But like you said, man, if niggas really got problems with each other, call the motherfucker and just y'all talk about the shit. It is no need to go
just box
ahead
it
and
out.
go online.
Yeah, some handle that shit like a man. Put it on the internet.
Yeah,
or
but
play it,
niggas
or
just
settle into the game of pool or something.
Yeah. Man, but you was on point with that, Ross, about how niggas don't need to go online and just air shit out. Because my thing is, at the end of the day, it's clout chasing at the worst time, because I think people don't understand that it's
wrap
like,
it up.
Yeah, every business is not everybody else's. Your business is not everybody else's business. I think that's what some artists got to understand.
Exactly.
Definitely.
In a lot of cases, I look at it like these guys probably set it up to get the attention from themselves.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they'll go ahead and plan it. Like, okay, we're gonna go ahead and plan it behind the scenes.
Man, for real.
Oh, no doubt, brother.
Yeah.
Hey,
but definitely.
Hey, you there, T-Max?
You know. Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ross, you still with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. But like you said, like King was saying, sometimes people just try to deliberately start stuff. But one thing about it is, we're glad to know you not one of those individuals that fall for that sucker shit ever, man. You know, you as solid as they come, man.
Yeah, good luck.
You know.
I'm fucking with y'all. Y'all can hit me up whenever, man.
Well, definitely. We know you got to go in terms of you got some stuff to handle. But one thing about it, man, once again, we appreciate you so much coming on the show, man. Shouts out to you, man. Shouts out to Easton and the whole Rialto. And you got to welcome, you know, you always got a first-class pass to come back on the show anytime, man. We appreciate you so much, man. Thank you, and thank you again.
Yeah, bet. I appreciate you. Hit me up whenever, man.
Definitely, man. Appreciate you, Rob.
No doubt, man.
Ladies, definitely, man.
All right, no problem.
Thank you so much again. All right?
All right. Yeah,
One, Pete.
Yes,
Pete.
Sir.
Thank you again. Yeah, King.
Yes, sir.
We got a couple
5 minutes left, and we got about 5 minutes left. We just want to thank everybody to tune in to tonight's show. It was a great show, and we will definitely gonna be building with this brother in the near future. Be sure to follow him at Ros P on Instagram.
And of course, Ros P on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? Just Bing it. Just Bing search. You're gonna find them. You know. Of course, keep pumping. Check out the videos. Of course, Cuz and Crip Too Hard. You know, the youngin', you know, represent that true blue all day, man. Represent a long lineage of rappers. You know, keep, you know, cripping it to the left side all day, man. Ride or die, you know. And it's, you know, like I said, man, he's definitely, you know, one of the young guns out the West who's fully loaded, ready to blow, man. So we're going to keep supporting youngin', man, for real. Yeah, man.
Sure.
So I don't know, we got a couple minutes left. So has anybody done anything today that we can kind of, we can crack on them about? Has everybody been behaving?
Nothing really been going on other than actually nothing. I mean, it's been a pretty solid Sunday for a change. Hence you see the reason why my timeline been dry. Yeah, everybody seemed to be. I guess the only exciting thing is, I mean, we could say positively, is supposedly Kendrick getting ready to drop another album this year. You know, after taking a little bit of time off. Can't wait for that one.
Yeah, so, you know, Kendrick's just going to drop it out of nowhere and just have some fire shit that everybody's going to be, you know, talking about. Of course, so, yeah, Rick Ross, apparently, you know, I need to check out that interview he actually did where he says he's the king of paper rap. So I'm assuming he's the king of money in terms of money emceeing. So, you know, Ross is still, you know, talking, you know, big bank on things and whatnot. So we're going to see what he got planned for the 2020. You know, and like you said, of course, we saw earlier in the news, you know, with Nipsey's album going platinum, man. I mean, you know, man.
Great news.
Yeah, man, but to see that album almost a full 2 years afterwards, you know, make that mark is a beautiful thing.
I know, right? So we're going to go ahead and, matter of fact, since we're talking about Nip, we're going to end it on with one of his songs here.
Jip.
You know, to celebrate him going platinum. Celebrate his movement, to celebrate the marathon. We're going to put on Victory here. So we're going to see y'all this coming Friday, and be sure to check in next Sunday where we're going to have 40 Glock on. So let's go.
Yeah, peace, y'all.
I'm prolific, so gifted. I'm the type that's gon' go get it, no kidding. Breaking down a switch in front of your building. Sitting on the steps, feeling no feelings. Last night it was the cold killers. You gotta keep the devil in his hole, nigga. But you know how it go, nigga. I'm front line every time it's on, nigga. 100 proof flow, running shoot pro. 458 drop, playing bulletproof soul. Every few shows I just buy some new gold. Circle got smaller, everybody can't go. Downtown Diamond District, jewelers like yo. Hustle, holla at me, I got Cubans on the low. Through the Cancun, smoking Cubans on the boat. Then dock that Tulum just to smoke. Look, listening to music at the Mayan ruins. True devotion on the bluest ocean. Cruising, my cultural influence, even revolution. I'm integrated vertically, y'all niggas blew it. They tell me hustle, dumb it down, you might confuse me. It's like that weirdo rap you motherfuckers choose to. I'm a urban legend, South Central in a certain section. Can't express how I curb detective. Justice, evidence of a divine presence. Blessing, held me down at times I seem reckless. Effort, got an L but got an E for effort. Stretched me, dropped him off in the Mojave Desert, then left me. Ain't no answer to these trick questions. Money making nip, straighten out my jewelry on my bench dresser. Well known, flick up in jail clothes, snatch a champagne bottle from Rico's till T-shows. Whatever niggas, playing chess, not checkers. Nigga 38 special for you clever niggas. See bro, you ain't living down by the street code. Been through all these motions up and down like a seesaw. I can never view you as my equal. Fuck, I wanna hear your CD phone. Look, I'm finna take it there. This time around, I'ma make it clear. Spoke some things into the universe and they appear. I say it's worth it, I won't say it's fair. Find your purpose or you wasting air. Fuck it though, y'all niggas scared. Eyes open, I can see it clear. They don't make them bar none, they don't make them real. They don't make it where I'm from, they don't take it here. They ain't seeing due time, I be making meals. Bossed up in this game, I've been making deals. Get your lawyer on the phone, we can make it real. I got checks and balance, I flex dramatic. Other 50 on my neck, it's my reckless habit. Ain't no pussy on my rap, disrespect the savage. I make one phone call and the rest get handled. It's just another front step with candles. No message from the set, we accept your challenge.